No dairy milk, no sugar, overnight oats recipes ideal to include as a healthy meal in your weight loss journey. So let's get started with the recipes. Into a bowl, I'm adding in 1/4 cup or 30 grams of old-fashioned rolled oats. Into this, I'm adding in some water. The first tip is to soak the oats for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, the reason why you need to soak oats is to help release the phytic acid content in oats. Phytates are nutrient inhibitors which may cause digestive issues to some people and may prevent nutrient absorption. So, if you have noticed having digestive issues like gas, indigestion, or bloating when consuming oats, it's always ideal to soak the oats for a little bit and then use it. While the oats is getting soaked, I'm making homemade almond milk, and for that I have already soaked overnight 7 to 8 almonds and I'm peeling the almonds. It's also very important that you use overnight soaked and peeled almonds, as that also will help in better digestion and nutrient absorption. I'm going to peel all the almonds. I'm adding the soaked and peeled almonds into my small chutney grinder. Add in 1/4 cup water and I'm going to blend this really well. Okay, now it's nicely blended. I'm pouring the blended almond milk into a cup. Into this, I'm adding in 3/4 cup water and I'm washing down the residue almond milk into the cup. So this way I got 1 cup of fresh homemade almond milk. And now I'm going to keep this aside. Into a small container, I'm going to add in a banana and I'm going to mash the banana with a fork. I'm using a local variety of ripe banana, hence it's slightly smaller in size. The oats has been soaking for about 10 to 15 minutes and now I'm going to add it onto a strainer and rinse it under running water. Okay, now I have washed and rinsed the oats under running water. Add the oats into the bowl. 1 tablespoon chia seeds for some extra omega-3s, fiber and protein. 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon powder, this is for flavor. Cinnamon also helps to boost metabolism along with giving a nice flavor. For sweetness, I'm adding in 1 soft medjool dates. I'm finely chopping the dates and adding in. Into this, add in the fresh homemade almond milk. Give it a good stir. I'm going to cover and refrigerate it overnight. And the next day morning, the overnight oats is ready to eat. So I'm just going to open the lid and show you how it looks. I also soaked 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds overnight. Again, when you are using seeds in your diet, make sure you either soak it overnight or you roast the seeds before consuming them. The oats is perfectly soaked. And this is the consistency I like my overnight oats to be. If you want slightly thicker consistency, you can reduce the amount of almond milk, or if you want slightly thinner consistency, you can increase the amount of almond milk. But for me, this is the perfect consistency. The second tip, or rather a good thing about overnight oats, is once it sits in the fridge overnight or for about 8 to 12 hours, it becomes resistant starch. Okay, I have given details about resistant starch in many of my previous recipe videos. But for those who are new to resistant starch, grains like oats, once refrigerated overnight, builds resistant starch. And when the oats cools in the refrigerator overnight, the molecular starch compounds change. So when we eat them, we have more resistant starch and we don't have enzymes to digest it, and it goes right to our gut. Those form the prebiotic that feed the probiotics, and that makes our probiotic microbiome flourish and makes our immune system stronger. Sprinkling in a little bit of cinnamon powder, give it a light stir. As a topping for some added crunch and healthy fats, I'm sprinkling in some chopped cashew nuts. Instead of cashew nuts, you can also use raw cacao nibs. Lastly, I'm sprinkling in the overnight soaked pumpkin seeds, and my super healthy overnight oats is ready to serve. I'm heating my small cast iron pan, and into that I'm adding in 3 tablespoons or 20 grams of old-fashioned rolled oats, and I'm lightly roasting the old-fashioned rolled oats. And once the oats are lightly roasted and you start to see steam coming out from the pan, transfer the oats to another plate and allow the oats to cool down completely. While the oats are cooling down, I'm getting ready the other ingredients. This is 1 teaspoon of pumpkin seeds overnight soaked. For sweetness, I have soaked overnight 4 to 5 black raisins. To make the dairy-free almond milk, I have soaked a handful or about 7 to 8 almonds overnight. It's always ideal to soak nuts and seeds overnight to help in better nutrient absorption and also to help with good digestion. Add the soaked and peeled almonds into the blender jar. Making homemade almond milk is so easy. It just takes a little preparation of soaking the almonds. So once you have overnight soaked almonds, it's super easy to make almond milk at home. Into this I'm adding in 1 cup of water and I'm going to blend this really well. See how easy it is to make homemade almond milk. You need just 2 ingredients, that is overnight soaked and peeled almonds and water to make fresh homemade almond milk. I'm adding the almond milk into a bowl. Into this I'm adding in 2 tablespoons chia seeds. Chia seeds are a good source of protein, fiber and omega-3 healthy fats. Next I'm adding in 1 tablespoon homemade vegan curd. If you don't have any intolerance to dairy milk curd, you can use dairy milk curd instead. Give this a good mix. Add in the roasted and cooled oats. For sweetness, I'm adding in the soaked black raisins. Instead of black raisins, you can also use dates. I'm going to give this all a good mix. For flavor, I'm adding in freshly ground cinnamon powder. It's about 1/3 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. Cinnamon not only gives an amazing flavor, but also helps to boost your metabolism. And once everything is nicely mixed, cover it with a lid and refrigerate it overnight or for at least 2 hours. The next day morning or after about